In 2021, the battle for the lineal heavyweight title looked like this. The former three-belt champion Tyson Fury had returned after never losing a title, and he beat Deontay Wilder twice to claim the only belt he had never won. For all intents and purposes, Fury was, once again, the man.
Many people consider Canelo the pound-for-pound king. Others say it might be you. Who indeed is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world today?
I don't know about pound for pound, but I know I'm the best fighter that's ever lived. Never mind pound for pound. The best looking, the best talker, the best dressed, best everything.
The only champ who could challenge the Gypsy King's claim was the champ who had collected Fury's old titles, Anthony Joshua. Unlike Fury, he collected the belts one at a time in fights he'd clearly won. And for one hot moment, he looked set to dethrone the king. Until a knockout loss to the late replacement fighter Andy Ruiz derailed the hype train in spectacular fashion. AJ won it back, but he couldn't knock him out, and his reputation had taken a hit.
Yeah, it's nice to KO. Like, there was times that I looked in Andy's eyes and I wanted to put my fist through his head. But then I thought to myself, this is boxing, you know? I need to win for myself. I need to show people that this is the sweet science of the sport as well. It's not like a script where they say Anthony's gonna go. It's not wrestling. This is real life. And it's dangerous, so I have to box to my game plan. And my coaches, they devised a great strategy, and I trusted in them and I followed it through. So even though I took my loss, I took it like a man. I understood where I went wrong, and I keep on comparing it to an exam. When you take your exam, if you fail the first time, you study and you prepare better the next time. And I just knew with all of my preparation, my education, and discipline, I just knew I was going to pass this exam against Andy.
After AJ's comeback is when Alexander Usyk entered the picture. The Olympic gold medalist went pro, and in just 15 fights, he had already unified all 4 cruiserweight titles. With the possible exception of Evander Holyfield, the Ukrainian was the best cruiserweight in history. And like Holyfield, once he was done unifying the division, he made the move up to heavyweight in search of another world title.
Yes, of course, he's coming from a cruiserweight. He did everything what is possible to do in a cruiserweight. And as far as we know, this island holds all the heavyweight belts right now, so that's why we're here, digging.
Unlike Holyfield, who took 6 fights to get a title fight, Usyk did it in just 2. First, he fought Chaz Witherspoon, who was on an 8-fight win streak. Witherspoon outweighed Usyk by 30 pounds, and Usyk retired him in the 7th, before retiring him from boxing completely. Then, he fought the former title challenger Derek Chisora, a much more formidable opponent with real power and an extra 40 pounds of weight. David Haye, one of only 2 cruiserweight champions at the time to have also claimed a heavyweight title, knew what Usyk was in for.
He doesn't realize what Derek's about. He doesn't get what it's going to feel like when he's in there against a 120-kilo wrecking ball. He doesn't know what that's like. He can try and replicate in sparring, but his coach won't allow the sparring partners to do what Derek's going to do to him with 10-ounce gloves on a night. It's going to shock his system.
Chisora threw with everything he had, but he was fighting a guy they call the Cat. Despite the size advantage, Usyk used his far superior footwork, hand speed, and elusiveness to wear him down for the 12-round unanimous decision. In just 2 fights, Usyk earned a shot at AJ and his 3 titles. But AJ wasn't Chisora. AJ was in his prime. He was a super heavyweight Olympic gold medalist, and he was a unified professional champion. Except none of that mattered. Usyk, the much smaller man, who was still in the process of bulking up for the big boys, schooled Joshua over 12 rounds. And then he schooled him again, if you ignore one ridiculous scorecard, in their immediate rematch. It was 2022, and Joshua's claim to the lineal throne was well and truly over, while the former undisputed cruiserweight champ Usyk had become the unified heavyweight champion after just 3 fights in the division, and he'd already beaten the only other man in contention for the lineal title twice.
Easy fight. Nowhere near the biggest threat. He's a boxer. We know he's a slick boxer, southpaw. He ain't the biggest puncher in the world.
and he's not the biggest, strongest man in the world. So, listen, I can outbox him, I can get on the front foot and slaughter him. There's plenty of ways that I can skin this cat.
But hadn't the Gypsy King proven himself to be the #1 guy in the division? While it might have been debatable, Fury then set about giving his doubters and Ring Magazine everything they needed to take the lineal title from him.
Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.